Welcome to Lesson 02 of Linux Hardening Mastery, where SSH ends and the real authorization battle begins. SSH let them in. Sudo decides what they can actually do. And the default Ubuntu sudoers handing the sudo group all equals all is fine for your laptop but catastrophic on a server. By the end of this lesson, we'll have a drop-in policy under /etc/sudoers.d, NOPASSWD, scope to specific commands only, full input and output logging, and sudo replay for incident review. Every escalation auditable, every path tight. So let's start with the why. There are 3 ways to become root, and most servers sloppily mix all of them. Sudo is the old way, shared password, every action logged as root. Forensics impossible, compliance fails. Sudo bash looks better because the initial escalation hits the log, but the moment that shell spawns you're invisible again, effectively identical to su. Only sudo followed by a specific command gives you per action authorization, full logging, and sudo replayable sessions. And yes, sudo bash defeats the entire point of sudo. We'll kill it explicitly on slide 6. Before we kill sudo bash, you need to read the language it speaks. Every sudoers rule follows the same 5-field shape: who, where, as, flags, what. Here, user Dargslan on any host may run as root without a password prompt, exactly one command, /usr/bin/apt update. And note that last field, always absolute paths. Writing just apt opens the door to path spoofing, and that's a privilege escalation waiting to happen. Now, where do those rules live? Never in etc. sudoers itself. That file belongs to the package manager. Drop your policy into etc. sudoers.d. 1 file per concern, numbered by priority. 10 for admins, 20 for the deploy bot, 30 for monitoring, 90 for hardening defaults. Always edit through visudo so syntax errors get caught before they lock you out. And the permissions are non-negotiable. Zofo owned by root. Wrong perms, and sudo silently ignores the file. Your policy just vanishes. With the file layout settled, let's talk about the single most abused directive: NOPASSWD. You need it. CI bots, cron jobs, and Ansible runs can't sit there typing passwords. But look at the left side. Cybot all equals all with NOPASSWD. All means a leaked token gives an attacker full root forever. On the right, the same bot gets a named cmend alias. 2 absolute path commands, nothing else. Same automation, bounded blast radius. The rule is non-negotiable. NOPASSWD only through a cmend alias of explicit absolute paths. Never all. cmend alias is how you keep those explicit path lists from becoming unreadable. Sudoers gives you 4 alias types: user, runers, host, and cmnd. And together they turn a sprawling policy file into something you can actually review. Look at the bottom line. Monitoring on prod hosts runs read-only commands as root with no password, but shells are explicitly denied. 1 line, auditable at a glance. That's the whole point. Dry policies you can defend in a compliance review. Aliases get you scope. Now you need accountability, and that means logging. By default, sudo records the command but not the keystrokes typed inside it, or the output that came back. For a regulated host, that's not enough. Turn on log input and log output. Point iolog, dir at var log sudo io, and suddenly every session is replayable like a video. Sudo replay reconstructs it in real time, TSID and all. Just budget the disk and rotate it, because CIS Level 2 expects this on. Logging is one pillar, the defaults block is the other. Sudo ships with dozens of these, but 8 of them carry real hardening weight. Drop timestamp, chart timeout to 5, so reauth happens every 5 minutes instead of 15. That alone clears CIS Level 2. Cap passwd on tries at 3. Keep env reset and secure. Path on, so LD preload tricks and path spoofing die at the door. Force use ptie for clean IO capture. Mail bad pass to get notified on every fumbled password. and log sub cmds to catch the classic sudo bash escape. Requirity is the one judgment call. Leave it off if cron needs sudo, on if you want to block scripted attacks. And those logs only matter if an attacker can't erase them. Local sudo.log is the first thing a competent intruder scrubs, so you ship everything off box. 2 paths, journaled via syslog auth-priv, then forward with system journal remote, simple, systemd native, great for ops dashboards. Or audit watching sudoers and the log file itself at the kernel level, piped through audisp remote to your SIAM. Run both. Journaled for visibility, audited for compliance and tamper detection. Logging done right, let's talk about what still bites in production. 5 real failures, NOPASSWD, all on a deploy bot, turns a leaked CI token into instant root everywhere. Scope it with a cmd jar alias instead. Edit sudoers without visudo and you lock everyone out. Wrong permissions on a drop-in file, sudo silently ignores it. Editors in NOPASSWD shell out trivially, and the default 15-minute timestamp on a shared box hands the next person free root. Convenience kills. So let's lock in what you now own. 6 skills, 1 escalation path closed, per command sudo over su, drop-ins with correct perms, NOPASSWD scoped through cmndar's alias, the 4 alias types composing into DRI policy, full IO logging replayable with sudo replay, and 8 hardened defaults at CIS grade, audit trail, scoped privilege, tamper detection, all in place. Next lesson closes stage 01 with UFW and NF tables, the perimeter layer. Escalation path, locked. Drop-in pattern, scoped NOPASSWD, IO logging, sudo replay, all checked. But a hardened sudo policy on an open perimeter is just a well-guarded room with the front door wide open. Lesson 03 fixes that. UFW and NF tables, default deny inbound, egress restrictions, and IPv6 parity, because the firewall you forgot about is the one that burns you. That closes stage 01. See you in Foundation, final piece.